Everyone and their kids are building AI agents, and I recently taught a few students how to build their first AI agent using a low-code environment. Hi everyone, this is your AI BFF, and today I'm going to recreate those steps, so follow along. Let's talk about what are AI agents. Think of an AI agent as a system that can take action on your behalf and not just answer simple questions. It observes, it thinks, it decides, and then acts, and then it will also evaluate its response and get better over time. Every AI agent has four components. The first one is perception. It will understand your environment by taking in data inputs. Then the second piece is the processing or the brain power or the reasoning. It breaks down the task, and this is where the planning and chain of action and memory comes into play. The third piece is the action. It can use tools or softwares on your behalf to search the web, write emails, take an action. And the fourth and final piece, it will evaluate or self check its own output and get better over time. This loop is called agentic workflow or React loop. Remember that if you understand the components of how to build an AI agent, you can build multiple AI agents after building your first one. The essential components are: the first one is the trigger, which is you can decide when should the agent run. The second piece is the data collection. Obviously, your AI agent will need data inputs that it can read and process, and this can be data inputs from a database or it could be API calls. The third piece is the more important piece of AI processing, which is how does the agent think, and this is the underlying model. So it can do analysis, pattern recognition, and this is where the decision making happens. And the fourth piece is the output generation. It can generate reports, it can send notifications, whatever you need the output to be. For this video, we are going to build a business insights AI agent. So if you remember the four components from the previous slide, first we are going to make sure that there is a monthly schedule trigger. We are going to make sure that there is a data collection step. We are going to hook up an AI model so that the AI analysis can take place. And then the final output will be an email summary of the business insights. So let's jump in. It's time to build. We are going to use NA10, which is a low code or no code environment where you can quickly develop prototypes and test it easily. I first logged into my account on the NA10 platform, and you can sign in or sign up. After you sign in, this is your visual dashboard, and you can click on create your first workflow. And if you remember, we need to create a trigger. So I will click on create a trigger, and this is a schedule trigger. I want my report to be generated every Sunday, and that's what I added. I will execute, and this is what the details will show as to when it was executed. This is what the first node looks like after it has been executed successfully. Now I need to connect to a data source on an input data. Now I host a lot of my data on a database called Airtable. I need to tell the AI agent, hey AI agent, why don't you look through all of my data which is contained within Airtable. So I want the AI agent to search through the data, look through the data, and process the data. So I'll quickly switch over to Airtable and show you my input data source. This is what Airtable looks like once I sign in. I host a lot of data in Airtable, and this is an example table. This is sales data. This shows a list of products. It shows the name, the category, the department, the price point, and all of the details that I actually need the AI agent to read and process and generate insights of. Now that you've seen what the input data in Airtable looks like, all you need to do is jump back into NA10, and you need to define, or you need to tell the AI agent which data source it should connect to and read and process. You can either create a new credential and add the token here, or I already have a token for Airtable, so I'll use my personal token. And as you can see here, the same table pulls up, so I know for a fact that this AI agent will be able to read the correct data inputs accurately. Once you execute the step, you can actually confirm and see that this is exactly the table or the data input that you need the AI agent to read off of. Once node 2 is complete, we'll move on to node 3. Node 3 is data transformation or data cleanup. As you saw, we connected our input tables from Airtable. Now what we need to do is we need to maybe add a few calculated fields, and we need to transform the data. So I had a quick prompt or quick code ready that I added, and here what I wanted to do is add a calculated field which was the profit margin, and that's what you can see on the screen here. I added this quick code and I ran this node. This executed successfully, and this is the third node that you can see on the workspace here. Let's talk about the fourth node. The fourth node is connecting to the AI agent, which is actually the brain or the processing power behind it. So we'll connect to OpenAI model. Now, whenever you talk to a chatbot, you do give it some instructions or a prompt, and this is exactly what I'll do here. I will tell the AI agent how it needs to behave. For example, I will define the role that it needs to take on as a business analyst, and then I will also define which table or which data it needs to read from. So this is an example of a prompt, and this is prompt engineering, and you can use your own prompts here. Na10 has integrations with different AI models. So I can use any AI model for my AI agent. I'll click on it and you can see the different options available like Anthropic, Gemini, OpenAI, and I'll use OpenAI for this example. Once I have used OpenAI, it shows me which model it's using. I will also create new credential, or I can use my existing OpenAI secret key for this purpose. The second thing I will do is I will also connect to a simple memory so that this AI agent can remember some past interactions while it's processing the data. This is what the fourth node looks like once it's been totally configured. And what I'll do next is I will execute this node and see if it is running successfully. I can double click and I can run this node. And as you can see, this is running. And it gives me a message saying that the node has executed successfully. Moving on to node 5. Now node 5 is very interesting because it gives me a chance to actually define what the email body or what the notification would look like. So I will click on OpenAI and I will go to message a model, and here I can define exactly what the email summary would look like. As you can see, I am selecting the same GPT 4.1 mini model that I've used, and then I'm also adding the prompt. In the prompt, I am saying that, hey, this is what the email should look like, add additional insights, show me some additional data, etc. And once I've configured it, I will execute this step. This node has executed successfully, so we'll move on to the last step. Now this is the fifth and final node that we will define. Now I will define Gmail because all I need the AI agent to do is send me the email summary over email. What I can do is I can define the subject, I can define who to send it to, and I can also define the message that we had pre-configured or we had predefined in the previous steps. So all I need to do is add the recipients and execute this step. And once the node has been executed successfully, within a minute in real time, you will see an insight in your email. This is what the output generated by the AI agent looks like. I received this email pretty instantly, and as you can see, it gives me a nice format where it says, hey, good morning, hope you had a nice weekend. And then it shares an executive summary, which is pretty comprehensive. It shares the top brands, it shares the profit margin field, which if you remember, we had calculated in one of these steps, and it gives a few other additional insights as well. And this is your quick prototype or your first AI agent. Think of it as your own personal data analyst. Now, this was an example of how to create your first AI agent or multiple agents using a low-code environment like N8N. But there are multiple platforms and environments out there that you can leverage to build AI agents. And that is all for today's video. Follow for more.